Was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away?
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
We have brought Northreach together. Now the fight begins to keep. There's something about it.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
To madness on your knees!
He has heard. And it doesn't look like he's willing to listen. Damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side. Courage, Ifrit. My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must. He must. I await your word.
Still alive, are you? You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Finished, are you?
First the skies.
Good girl. tired of these things.
Trouble with your gear, or...
Not saying fortune, do you?
No scratches, right?
And?
What do I owe the honor?
What do you want?
No scratches, right? That it? Fine.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You'll not find a better price than that. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Clive! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended...
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible
From what little I saw.
But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in... We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the... Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a stola?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital.
Excellent.
No.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying.
His will.
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity, and in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as...
Very well. Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous. Cyril, you found a letter from Father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival. He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime. But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least. And where is this woman? She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace. Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
This is the Requietry, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yeah, in fact, this is the very same... The griffin your father meant to slay is currently nesting in Titan's Wake.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Let's go. There it is. For House Rosfield. Torgal! Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Oh, thank the griffin is slain.
And the Heartstone?
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside, enemies who would thwart his vision.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, but this was more than just a message. It was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, of the deep love he had. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was when word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the...
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, and so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered. And that...
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the...
If you would permit me to play my part a little, let him see that you have received his blessing.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. Since the day we recovered it, I prithee claim it. And I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your...
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Clive,
Of course.
I wanted to give you something.
Is this?
I stitched it from the cloth you gave Hortense. The piece she said you liked best. I told her I used to enjoy needlework, but I didn't think she'd remember.
It's beautiful, Jill. You didn't have to.
When I was very little, I recall my mother telling me that young ladies of the court would give knights ribbons from their hair before they went off to war. I still wear mine, so I made you this instead. White is the color of faith. Faith in your friends, your family, your purpose. Unblemished, unfeigned. Just like my faith in you.
Our faith. May it ever steer us true.
And may it ever bring you back to me. I will always, always be here.
Thank you, Jill.
What's on your mind, Clive? Somewhere in the back of my mind. I know. Thank you. And so for now? Right.
My Lord Marquis, that some of my fellow Guardians are to build a new home there, both for themselves.
It's true.
I have many fond memories of Eastpool. When I was a child, we would visit my aunt and uncle often. I went to see Aunt Hannah after my uncle passed away, but...
Oscar.
But my training is not yet complete.
I warned you I might not be the easiest of masters. But I'm not as hard-hearted as that. Rebuild her home.
Thank you. I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastpool, but as soon as the rebuilding work is complete, I promise to return.
You all right? About that. Oi! Let's see. You off then?
Sid! Look what the said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Look. Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Eh? A bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
Don't worry, my boy. Rutherford is in Randalar this very moment, singing your praises to all and sundry. They'll adore you.
Ah, Clive, my boy.
Harpocrates, I've been charged with locating a book.
And you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips.
Right as always, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much.
And yet I gather it did naught to Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors.
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend, well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell down. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance, if you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. There is a rather fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you. You wish to study the tomes? Did you learn everything you needed?
Let's go.
Yeah!
Thanks, Gal. The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This... His interest was only varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it, or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive, but we have other means.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Good girl.
Faster!
This won't be easy. Back to the stables, girl.
To Porto with it.
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please.
I'm scared. scared.
Come on. Faster! Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want...
Allow me.
I don't need... Please, Field Marshal.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men...
A little longer than I'd... Field Marshal Havel, are either of you injured?
No, my lord. Fucking traitors. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached... It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis, or is Sid the Outlaw...
Call me what you want, doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm.
Before I agree to... I'd have you answer, what do you stand?
I won't deny that I seek a new beginning for, and while the choices I've made, I know, for so long, so many of us have been told when it should have been our decision all along. But in order to take it, we must stand together.
Certainly not the words I expected from it. You are, no, I'll never hear the end. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted... Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince...
Thank you, Field.
But they are not the only...
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different... We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of state...
I'm flattered, and I have other problems to it. What we need is a skilled arbiter.
Is that so? And would he happen...
Of a different kind.
I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal.
And I will see that my associate joins you.
Very good.
I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin.
Good girl.
Yeah!
That'll do, girl.
I made sure our fallen comrades were laid to rest. And they can rest easy.
Quentin's gonna build us new Lost Wing, and I'm gonna help.
Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more. Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow and do the one thing that has proved impossible for...
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have. The people of Lost Wing are my... You'll have to find some...
I'm sorry to...
So?
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. We'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said...
You know that's not...
Then what are you? That only we... Why turn your back on everyone else? Who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat.
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreak.
That would be very much... I hear the roads are far from...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, the Field Marshal has... Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he asked if I might have a solution.
one of your...
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his.
Another out? Just the thing we need to put these rotten, good-thinking clients...
I'm glad you...
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve... You still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't. The 7 high houses, they have all agreed to make the most... Oh, of course, it did take a little, but luckily I had...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward, Rockford, from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased she had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks, and when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves. Now, I must join us there at your earliest convenience.
Of course.
And how, pray tell, will we get that great...
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not... That is, unless you'd have them...
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger... My soldiers actually need their rations. They'll be dead even before...
Perhaps I might suggest, though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work. But I'm sure that you wish to... Two such firm friends as yourselves need... Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between...
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of...
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep the man?
Criminal? How? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this... Fine.
Upstanding. He calls himself...
Once more unto the...
Shall we begin? What we seek here is not to create a new nation. We wish simply to bring stability to the... And to do that, we must convince those in power. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, if we show them the path. The fate of the world lies in mine, but the well-being of her people lies in ours.
Uncle Byron.
Now, with that settled, for what great moment in history hasn't... Citizens of Valisthea, Well,
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. We shall play our parts to the best of our ability. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better... I want you to...
I will.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to, but the Argo and me will be waiting when you get back.
What do you think that thing is?
And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
Vivian, I found it.
Even though I asked this of you, I fear the executors had seized
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable, that it can be changed, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the Hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Twin sides, hundreds of miles.
You don't know what you're talking about. The odor's what gives chance a stew its, depth. And that's what makes it superior to any old lizard livers.
Oh, please. Have you even tried the fried mortress? Taste, smell, texture. It beats your beloved stew hands down on every count.
Say what you will, Lady Karen is yours.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, lady.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you.
Where to, then, Torgal? All right, Torgal. I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Why don't we try the rookery? To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there. It's still here. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure. We won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't. He's it all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up, for never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you, but without it, and we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Sorry for the wait. We're ready.